But I think Aaron Rodgers, football-wise, won a lot of leverage last night.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I think Aaron Rodgers won a lot of leverage last night. Not that Jordan Love doesn't have the capability of being a great quarterback at some point. There was moments in there. There was a couple throws on the run where he looked very incredibly comfortable, smooth, athletic. He had a couple throws that looked great, a couple decisions that looked fantastic. But then there was these fadeaways that were happening and these checks that probably weren't happening. And then obviously the miscommunication on the snap with that whole thing and the pick. I mean, it is just, there's a lot of things that happen that you go, okay, maybe he'll be great at some point, but that time's nowhere near now. With the team that we currently have built to win now, if we had to resort to Jordan Love, we'd be potentially fucked for at least a little bit before he maybe gets his feet under him. Now, if he has to play next week against the Seahawks and Aaron can't play because he can only come back on Saturday, I'd assume he's going to play.
Yeah, LaFleur already said if he comes back on Saturday, he's starting on Sunday.
And LaFleur, by the way, there's probably an even bigger conversation piece about LaFleur's reputation now with how yesterday went. Well, with Jordan Love, maybe he'll be able to get there in a few years. But ain't nobody that's a Packers fan is hoping, you know what, for the next couple years, let's just wait for Jordan to get good because our team is good. Nobody's thinking that. So everybody that was defending Jordan last night from the Packers fan base, I appreciate your loyalty to the Chiefs. I appreciate the hell out of that. But what I think we're all saying whenever we say, oh, Aaron Rodgers can basically say, this is what you're going to pay me, and this is how we're going to do it. If he wanted to. I'm not saying he's going to do that, but if Aaron Rodgers wanted to, he could walk in there and go, hey, listen, we just seen it, right? Mm-hmm. You're what, 2-3 years out maybe? 1, 2, 3 years. Do you have 2-3 years with this roster with how much you paid everybody? No way. How you paid everybody? You don't. This is what it's going to take. Keep me around. I'd like to make some more decisions. Cobb, big-time player, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I should do a little bit more of that. And then bang, they're back and running because Aaron scores what? Probably 50 last night against that Chiefs defense?
I mean, I don't think it would have been close.
Special teams are terrible.
Horrible.
But Aaron had to be watching that, okay? And I assume he was. I assume Aaron was watching that game. It was probably very uncomfortable. I was potentially, thinking about how he would be watching the game as they showed different angles and stuff. Jordan Love walking up to the line. I thought to myself, Aaron's probably like, what the fuck's that deep? I fucking knew it. Yeah. Jordan, throw it right here. Throw it right here. No, something else happens that you can only garner from experience, by the way. We're comparing Jordan Love to Aaron fucking Rodgers. It's not fair for Jordan Love. It hasn't been fair for Jordan Love since literally day one of this entire shitstorm that has begun. I think Aaron and Jordan Love get along. Yeah. I don't think they have any beef at all. It's not, but you're comparing him to Aaron Rodgers, and I think yesterday we all learned a lot that the Packers without Aaron are much different than the Packers with Aaron. Green Bay Packers owner Ty Schmidt, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head, and like you said, I mean, LaFleur, I think, is going to take it on the chin big time because everyone was saying kind of going into the week, we'll see how good he is with his game plan, and he admitted after the game, it wasn't very good. And granted, the line wasn't great, but I don't know. Like you said, I don't know how you could look at that with the roster and everything that's set up and be like, you know what, after this year, it doesn't matter. We're going to have to get rid of Rodgers. People are acting like the Chiefs, the Chiefs aren't the 85 Bears. Their defense fucking stinks. And they
they might have found their mojo last night.
They scored 7 points, and it was just some of the things, too, this going away from the run when A.J. Dillon was just chewing up yards. That didn't really make any sense. The special teams, I mean, I've been saying it for how long? It's going to end up losing them a game. It lost him the game yesterday. Jordan Love wasn't great, but ultimately, I mean, you look, the Rams get beat. Everyone got beat yesterday, pretty much. So, and if Rodgers comes back on Sunday in the long run, it doesn't matter.
In college football, some top teams struggled and lost.
That's right.
In the NFL, the same thing seemed to have happened on the bye week of the Buccaneers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's pretty fascinating to think. They're probably only going to get better coming out of the other side of this bye week. But it was a shitstorm for everybody. What are your thoughts on the Chiefs? Chiefs continue to win. Continue to win. But the conversation is, Patrick Mahomes stinks this year. He don't have a clue. They don't know what they're doing. The defense, I guess, had a massive day, but was that against Jordan Love or was that against a great Packers offense? Is that against a Matt LaFleur-led offense that has been very successful against everybody? How do you judge the Chiefs after that game? I don't think anybody knows.
It's really tough because they did have a lot of zero blitzes. I know LaFleur talked about it afterwards. He tried to put all the blame on himself. We need a better plan against these zero. And I think, was it Troy Aikman? Was it Troy and Joe on the game?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Terry.
So they did, and Terry.
Yeah, Terry Bradshaw.
Terry McAuley.
Bradshaw,
Yeah.
TB12.
Yeah.
And Terry McAuley was on NBC.
True.
He gave an entire thing, but Terry Bradshaw, I think, was with Joe and Troy. He was trending through that entire.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, early on he was.
hero.
But Troy did a good job of talking about it. He's like, do you think you would see this one-on-one coverage with Devontae Adams if Aaron Rodgers was out here? Like, no, you wouldn't. Like, that's a dream. No matter what the play is, if Aaron sees that, he's throwing it up to Devontae. No question.
It's fascinating because Jordan Love, obviously, has been compared to Aaron fucking Rodgers his entire NFL career. Like, that is what he's being compared to. It's not his fault. He was just hanging out at home. Remember draft night?
Uh-huh.
He was on that very nice couch with his family. He's just sitting there, and all of a sudden, the Packers trade up in the first round. I thought they traded. I was wrong on Twitter yesterday. I thought they didn't have a first-round pick. I thought they had an early second, and they traded up into the first round. I was wrong completely. But they trade up in the first round, just a couple months removed from giving up like 180 yards before contact in the NFC Championship game, seeing what everybody else is doing, adding weapons everywhere. They trade up in the first round to draft this guy who's sitting at home in a very nice house with his family, about to experience his dream come true. And the immediate reaction is, what the fuck is this guy getting drafted to this team for?
Yeah.
So literally, Jordan Love's first moments of his NFL life after he was drafted, probably fun. When he put the hat on, he got interviewed. I get to learn from Aaron. This is awesome. His family's there. And then he opened his phone or whatever, probably hit the Bird, the Bird app. And all of a sudden it's, this guy can't hold Aaron Rodgers' fucking jockstrap. What the fuck are we doing here? This is a project, but you're built to win right now. You're in a position to win right now. Why would you do this? Then videos surface of Jordan Love not doing great in a accuracy net drill. Those things hit the internet, and then the narrative gets even louder and louder. And then everything that happened with Aaron and Gutekunst and Murphy and the entire Green Bay Packers organization, then it got louder. This dude has been compared to, by all accounts, basically, the greatest football thrower in the history of throwing footballs his entire career. So it is not fair. We need to let everybody know that it is not fair. But after watching Jordan yesterday, an experience will maybe make him a better player. So he probably is in a project and needs a couple years or whatever the case is, even though he sat behind Aaron for over a year and a half now at this point. And Patrick Mahomes sat behind Alex Smith for 1 year, played in the last game when the Chiefs were already in, beat the Broncos in Denver, and in practice everybody was like, hey, this guy's a fucking guy. Not that, once again, I'll be comparing Jordan Love to Patrick Mahomes, but I don't know what people, are trying to compare him to, with them making a reasonable pick and deciding to pick Jordan Love over anybody else. Once again, not fair to Jordan Love. But you watch Jordan Love and you go, okay, experience is going to make him better. Maybe he will be a guy. But this team's going to need Aaron Rodgers. And not just for this year. It looks like it could potentially be a little bit, especially in Green Bay, Wisconsin, that isn't a free agent destination, assuming without Aaron Rodgers. I assume it was an eye-opening experience, Ty Schmidt.
Yeah, for sure. But I think it's something that we've kind of known all along. Like, that's fine. Yeah, he is a rookie. That was his first start. Like, you didn't expect him to
redshirt.
Yeah, redshirt. You didn't necessarily expect him to light the world on fire, but we've mentioned it. Like, they're built to win right now, and there is a possibility that he becomes that guy, and he's great. But what if he becomes a starter next year, they lose some of these pieces, and then they stink for the next 2 years? Like, what does that do for his confidence?
And what happens if Jordan Love gets that win last night somehow, with how the defense was able to stop Patrick Mahomes in that offense, even after special teams blunder after special teams blunder after special teams blunder, with all the fuckery in the special teams?
They absolutely should have won. They
Yeah.
should have won the game. Just no matter, you could keep Jordan Love playing exactly like he did if special teams would have taken care of business. Their defense played great. I feel like they should have won.
Yeah, and they had a chance to score and actually take the lead, or they would have been able to take the lead through a pick, but that's in the red zone. I mean, there was moments there where, what if the Packers win? What's the conversation this morning? I wonder. I wonder, especially with what happened on Friday, even with how it looked. The conversation would be hysterical. And that goes back to the conversation of, what the fuck is going on with the Chiefs?